Let's start our own little book club right here. If you're looking for a novel to cozy up with this winter, then our next guest might have just what you're looking for. Unbelievably talented writer Ron Irwin has just released his brand new baby to the world, My Side of the Ocean. And it tells the story of expatriate American artist Stella Wright, who starts an affair with a local surfer named Ben after a harrowing encounter with a great white shark close to Cape Town. Now, the relationship that builds between them grows out of their shared experience on the water and their mutual decision to overcome their fears and embrace life. Kind of like where everybody is right now. Ron, welcome to our little slice of crazy.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for being here and including us, our little market, in your whirlwind tour. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's always difficult to know what to say to an author once you get to the point, and I joke about releasing your baby to the world, when so much effort, and in this case, emotional processing has gone into something like this. Is it a release or is it terrifying when you've got to let this go to the market?
It's a release because you spend so much time editing and so much time at the back end getting ready for it and planning for it and working on it and finding mistakes and going over it again and again and again. And you live with it for years. You know, this is 5 years in the making. So you're really ready to see it in the bookstore when it goes. And it is a release, and you're not sorry about it at all. You're thrilled.
You're almost handing it over. It's not letting it go, but rather giving it a chance to live and breathe.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the scope of that as it applies to the title, My Side of the Ocean. That in itself is evocative. How does that inform the steps or the paddles that we're going to take through this particular arduous, fraught journey?
Right. So My Side of the Ocean is the point of view of the main character, Stella Wright. American artist, comes down here, doesn't mean to stay very long like me, and makes this place her home, makes this side of her ocean her side of the ocean. She comes from the other side of the ocean, from New York, and she meets somebody who will wind up in another part of the ocean, Australia. And it's really about saying, this is, people say my mountain, what about my ocean? You know, what about my part of the ocean, my part of the world, making a place your home, making a place yours, making it part of who you are.
This speaks to, in essence, taking responsibility for your life and where you're at in that moment. What brought you to this moment? Why write this book? Because it seems like there are layers of processing going on beneath us, which we all need right now. Boy, do we need a true north to help us. For you, why was this so important to do this?
So for me, I've been here, I'm obviously American. I've been here for 30 years. I did not mean to stay so long. I made a decision like many other people, sitting on Ledno Beach, beer in hand. I thought this is the place to be.
We gotcha.
I'll stay here for a couple more months, and next thing you know, it's 30 years. But also, I had a story told to me. I wanted to learn how to paddle ski. And I went to an instructor, and I had bought the paddle ski. And I said to the instructor, oh, by the way, are there any sharks out there? And he said, oh, yeah, there's a lot of sharks.
It's kind of where they are,
Yeah, and I said, well, have you ever seen one? He said, yes, I have. He was taking a beginner out, and the beginner was paddling with him, and he saw the fin come up, and he thought, this is a very big shark. I'll bring the beginner in on this wave, and I won't tell him there's a shark. Because if he knows there's a shark, he's going to flip out.
The whole dynamic changes,
As he looked to his left, there was this big eye in the wave. And I remember thinking, that's going into a novel. That is going into a novel.
Step one.
And I wanted to actually say that when, you know, as you live down here with the sharks, you live down here with the ocean, you live down here in this kind of interesting place that's far away from the world and yet part of the world, you start to think about the major themes of life, which is when you actually realize you could die. You go through an experience that could kill you, like a lot of us have been through. That one moment you think, this is life. I need to make, are the choices I've made the choices I can live with for the rest of my life? Or have I kind of been drifting through, kind of being comfortable, compromising, and one day you think, where am I? And being close to a large shark in the ocean makes you think, where am I?
I've been there, No, I know that feeling exactly. What I love the most is that this resonates on levels, yes, but it's got a South African connection.
For sure.
For South African readers, I mean, we see it with films where we're like, oh, and we have such imposter syndrome whenever we watch anything or read ourselves, or because we've this tiny little corner of Africa separated from the world. Not anymore.
No.
This lived experience, because this feels real. It's not just a great narrative, and I'm assuming a death-defying, terrifying story in moments, because that kind of punches it home. But there is a process that you can go through. What do you hope this will bring to the people reading it?
I think that South Africans have to get over this idea that nobody wants to read about South Africa. Yeah. I think that Cape Town is what's the #1 tourist destination in the world. Pretty much everyone I've ever met who's come down here from the States I've had to drag them back to the plane. Even with all the problems that we have down here, you know, it still is a wonderful place to be. It's an interesting place to be. It's visceral, it's dramatic. Even the landscape's dramatic. And so you actually think to yourself, this is a wonderful place to set a novel. My first novel was set in America. It was about rowing. Very much autobiographical. This one, I thought, I am going to write about life. How can you have a more interesting life than living in Bakoven, living in Cape Town, suddenly having a raging affair with a surfer, which is what Stella has, and it's something that's part of her transformation into thinking, I'm not just going to be an expat. I'm going to learn about the country. I'm going to be part of the drama down here, good and bad.
And we know, daily, it's going to keep producing.
For sure.
Thank you for writing a novel that really is a marker of our time right now, that lived experience every day. We rely on you, the authors, the musicians of the world, to help us process the complex emotions that we're all grappling with. Thank you for this, and good luck. I hope it makes an insane amount of money.
Me too.
Because that's why we do it. Now, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to enter into that transformational journey. Sometimes you just need, as I said, that true north. Just be pointed in the right direction and then just swim along, or have the strength to keep swimming. Ron Irwin, very proudly based in South Africa, but a global citizen, and he's just released his brand new novel, My Side of the Ocean, available at major bookstores right now. And you can also visit his website for more information, and that's ronirwin.com. Ron, thank you so much for stopping by.
Cheers, thanks.